Hello, this is a case study and lesson plan video created by Kenyatta Cochran and Kermit Ali to fulfill the requirements of the Special Ed 5481 course with Dr. Lynch. The focus of our case study is a 9-year, 11-month boy named Lee who has cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegia. Lee is enrolled in School X, special needs program, and has been diagnosed with related motor difficulties significantly impacting speech production, feeding, and causing receptive and expressive language delays. Our primary objective for this case study included an analysis of Lee's strengths and weaknesses, a description of the test assessment results, a description of informal test results, the remedial plan, and plans. Starting with the strengths. Lee is communicative and has the ability to use multiple forms of communication to get his point across. Lee can independently and effectively employ a combination of eye gaze, differentiated vowel sounds, arm movements to raise his hand, head nodding, shaking, emotional response, and verbal production of the word no. Along with his understanding of vocabulary, his concept knowledge, understanding of WH questions, comprehension, and his ability to incorporate messages that include negation has improved. He can also identify 10 primary colors in addition to 6 geometric shapes. Alright, Lee is attentive to what is going on around him. He enjoys church, cartoons, and he enjoys being read to, which is the gist of our lesson plans. Moving on to Lee's weaknesses, Lee is totally dependent on caregivers for all activities, daily living, and positioning. He also has limited reaching ability, limiting his ability to grasp objects that are far in reach. Lee's disability has relegated him to the use of a wheelchair for mobility. He has sporadic meltdowns when he feels envious of same-age peers that have normal abilities. Lee has difficulties with understanding how others feel and the ability to attend to a task for extended periods of time. So taking a look of the description of the informal test administered to Lee and the resulting remedial plan that we came up with. Lee took an assortment of tests, including the PIR, Peabody Achievement Test, that I'd like to speak about particularly because the arrows are green and pointing up in these areas, including the Peabody Vocabulary Test. Both tests he showed some promise. The PIR Peabody Achievement Test tested Lee's reading comprehension and recognition, showing that Lee could identify sight words pretty good. The Peabody Vocabulary Test found Lee to be performing just outside the average range for his chronological age level. Thus, we wanted to look at some research to find out what best fit Lee's remedial plan moving forward. Since he was doing well or competitive in the areas of vocabulary, and this Peabody test showed such improvements, we felt like a reading class like Lee would do well or be competitive in a reading class for 50 minutes a day with his same age regular education peers. We looked at some research by Fieria and Chiarello that both agree that to better serve people with severe disabilities, we need to incorporate some fun games. And so we looked at that. Also, his strengths, one of his strengths was he enjoyed, again, being read to. We talked about the sight words, and he has a strength in answering yes and no questions using his AAC device. So thus we wanted to put him in a situation where in the classroom where he could succeed with his AAC device and the supports that he'll have at his disposal. So differentiating the lesson plans was important, and it was part of the assignment, of course. Again, we wanted to incorporate some games, some read aloud activities, since he does enjoy being read to. We wanted to start the unit off with the teacher reading to him. Then we wanted to have, next class peers read to him, and then the class, so everybody would get a chance to read to Lee, and of course the lessons would be differentiated. So those performing, in advanced levels and proficient levels will get more responsibilities, harder questions. We'll also have a school store set up in which Lee will run the school store and have the final say in whether or not someone gets the reward. Um, just to keep him involved, we thought it would be great. So in conclusion, as the cartoon implies, we as teachers would all love for our students to all be model students all the time. However, this is never the case, and we have to learn to adapt our classes in order to foster an environment in which we can get the best out of every student in our class. So, on behalf of Kenyatta Cochran, I would like to say thank you for viewing this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer, and goodbye.